irlonestar.com/Texas Ticket.
Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Hello, I am Margie Taylor, your host for Conroe Culture News, irlonestar.com. We are out of the downtown Conroe Tower building in downtown Conroe, FM 104.5, 106.1, and live streaming irlonestar.com, Facebook Live, Conroe Culture News, and YouTube Live. So if you miss this or you want to share it with other people, feel free. We always have great information. Today, we're going to hear about roofs, roof repair, cleaning your roof, kinds of roofs, everything about roofs from the professionals, the Finley duo of Jennifer and Brian, and they're going to talk to us all about what's going on with roof concepts and construction. Then in the second half, we're going to have Donna Stedman and Darlene Gagnon. She's a board member for Henry's Home, Horse, and Human Sanctuary. And they are the place to go for veterans and first responders. And it's a sanctuary for both them and the 31 horses that they have there on their property. So, the show is sponsored by Roger Stein Chiropractic and the Lake Conroe Realty Group. Roger Stein Chiropractic has been serving the community for many, many years. They treat everyone from weekend athletes to professionals, infants to seniors, with a focus on natural holistic healing to not only achieve optimal health, but also to relieve pain. Dr. Stacy Rogers holds certifications in adjusting extremities, arm, legs, hands, feet, clinical nutrition, prenatal, and pediatric care. If you're a new patient, it's only $35, and it all goes back to CASA, Children in Child Protective Services. The Lake Conroe Group serves the greater Montgomery County area for the best place for buying, selling, or investing in real estate. Vinny Sinisi is the man you need to go see. Sinisi, because it's an easy name to remember. So it's Veterans Day coming up on 11/11, which happens to be this Saturday, and there's a lot of things going on in our community. The Heritage Museum of Montgomery County will present Colonel James Ray in a veteran celebration of the 50th anniversary of the Vietnam POW homecoming this Saturday, November 11th at 1 p.m. at the Owen Theater. It's absolutely free, and it will be open seating. And this gentleman, Colonel James Edward Ray, was a captive at Hanoi Hilton. He served in North Vietnam, and he was released February 12, 1973, and he was honored with a homecoming gathering and a parade at Tiger Stadium in March of that month. So hear about his capture, what happened, and all about being a Vietnam veteran at 1 o'clock on Saturday. The Montgomery County Veterans Memorial Park will host their dedication of the line, swearing in of new recruits to the United States Army, and the groundbreaking of the new Education and Visitor Center at 9 a.m. Saturday at the Montgomery County Veterans Memorial Park, which is at 1776 Freedom Boulevard in Conroe, which that is right adjacent to I-45 and the Central Library in Montgomery County in Conroe there. The Mighty Oaks Foundation is having their 22 for 22 Shine a Light on Veteran Suicide with a festival at Heritage Park starting at 8 a.m. Because every day an estimated 22 veterans commit suicide. So there's a gentleman, Jeremy Stallnicker, who is doing 22 marathons in 22 days. And as a past marathon runner, I can tell you that's intensive. That's running 26.2 miles for 22 days. That is really hard on your body, and he's been doing this throughout the country. So he's ending that at Heritage Park in Conroe, and there will be booths set up with different veteran organizations. So go by and check that out. That is absolutely free as well. There's a couple of pop-up places that have opened in new venues in downtown Conroe. Pop-up shop is open at 215 North Thompson, and they are set up for holiday use and any other vendors. There's space available. And a Game Changer arcade is opening. I don't think it's open yet. It's in the closed Moco Food Hall, and it's going to have arcade games, a speakeasy bar, and an area for event rentals. And I understand it's all adults only after 8 p.m. So it's another place to go and explore and check it out. 202 Main is again hosting their innovative event, making a craft cocktail, where they teach you how to make 2 of their signature cocktails with an experienced mixologist this Friday at 7. And each ticketed attendee will make O-Fig with spiced rum and pumpkin spy using vodka and Kahlua. So contact them on their Facebook page. So the theaters are in their dark time getting ready with rehearsals for the holiday season that opens up Friday, December 1st. And at the Owen Theater, they'll host the Christmas Bells. They are hosting Holiday Inn, and Christmas Bells will be at the Crichton Theater by Stage Right of Texas. So you can get season tickets for the remainder of the season that ends in July. You can still get those tickets, and it's a great thing to do because these shows are all put on by volunteers, and it helps supplement what it costs to put on the shows for us. And Anastasia will be at the Crichton Theater weekend starting this Friday, Saturday, Sunday through November 19th, and that's put on by CYT Houston. So that's about it. So all I want to say is thank you to our veterans for saying yes to serve our country. And with that, we're going to take a quick break and be right back with Brian and Jen.
Since 2004, Roger Stein Chiropractic has offered spine and joint manipulation services to residents of Montgomery County and surrounding areas. Conditions treated include lower back pain, migraines, headaches, whiplash, carpal tunnel, neck pain, sciatica, joint pain, sports injuries, herniated discs, and complications from pregnancy. Roger Stein Chiropractic, led by Dr. Stacy Rogers and Dr. Brian McGee, is an integrity-verified chiropractic clinic. Call 936-441-9990 for an appointment, or visit rogerssteinchiropractic.com. That's RODGERSSTEIN chiropractic.com.
Team Sinisi is a proud sponsor of Conroe Culture News. Vinny Sinisi and his professional team provide comprehensive real estate services throughout the greater Montgomery County area and beyond. Whether looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, Team Sinisi has an impeccable reputation. Contact Team Sinisi for a great experience at teamsinisi.com. That's TEAMSINISI.com.
And we are back, and sitting across the table from me is Jennifer and Brian Finley, and they are the owners of Roof Concepts and Construction. And they're going to tell us everything we never knew about roofs. And there's a lot. I didn't know there's all these different things you need to do for your roof. I didn't know about maintenance. I didn't know about washing your roof even. So let's start at the top, the roof business. How long have you guys been in the roof business?
About 5 years.
5 years. What drove you to get into this business?
You want the real story, you want me?
I don't know. Is it fun?
I kind of pushed Jennifer into it.
Yeah.
So she was
Out of work.
Out of work for about 6 months. I have a buddy buddies that own roofing companies, and he started a new one. Said he's going to start training Monday morning. And Jennifer came out of the restaurant and said, "Hey, you're going to start selling roofs."
Okay.
Didn't know anything about it. Nothing.
I'm
I've never been on a roof.
I'm scared of heights. I've never been on a roof. No.
But now, look at you. You're on top of the roofs, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. She
Yeah.
did awesome. She did. got a bunch of roofs that first year, and so she started with that. And so my side of it is I was commercial was down before COVID hit, right? And so I used to sell office furniture, and then so that year looking into it, had a bunch of work through that summer, and then come the end of the year, didn't see anything, and so I had to make a move, and I left the company I was with for about 10 years. And so made that switch, and then we went to work for somebody else. Or I went to work with her company, and so we decided that we wanted to do things some different ways.
Do it your own.
Do it
It's
our
a whole
own,
different
right.
thing when you
So-
have your own business, right?
That's
Yes.
right. That's right.
So you've had great reviews. Tell me about the business. How is your business different from other roof businesses?
Honestly, it was for a long time. It was the same as a lot of these other.
But it's
companies.
different now.
It's different now, right? And so, our goal is to change the way homeowners, others think about.
The roofing industry.
The
The
roofing
roofing
business, because it
industry,
could be a
right.
little shady.
That's right.
It
That's
can
right.
be. I
That's right.
remember during the different hurricanes we've had, although we haven't had one in 7 years now
Mm-hmm.
or something. Yay. But that's when people go prospecting in the neighborhoods,
Sure.
which seems a little shady, We'll let you know when we need your help, right?
Yeah,
Kind of thing.
our one bad review, 1-star review, is because a homeowner went to our Google page and said that we were vultures because we were in the neighborhood.
And they
right?
just had a
Had
major storm.
No interaction with the fella, but he just decided to do
Yeah, I guess kind of like ambulance chasers, right? That kind of
Right,
thing.
right.
That
But
kind of thing.
At the end of the day, we're trying to help, right? If we can change
Sure.
that mentality.
But when I went to your website, it was very educational. You have a
Sure.
lot of good information on there. You have a lot of people, a lot of accreditations
Mm-hmm.
that when you see that on a website, that evokes trust,
Sure.
right?
Yes. Yeah.
What are some of those accreditations that y'all have?
Whenever you start a business, you choose or you go with several different manufacturers to
People you partner
to
with,
be your
right?
partner, right? And so a lot of that is through you're doing warranties, you're doing all some other things to build that accreditation with them, and you start moving up in levels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Based off of how many roofs you've done, how many things like that, and so we're
Kind of like a level of expertise
for sure
kind of thing?
for sure.
Yeah,
For
okay.
sure. And so we're select shingle master through Certainteed, and then we're also preferred through Owens Corning, right? And so those are some of the things you got to have. You got to have good credit. You got to have your materials got to be in as far as your distributor. All those things.
Well,
are
and it
checked
shows
on
that these
right.
people want to be part of you, and they allow you to put their logo on your
Sure.
website, right?
Yes.
Yep.
So it makes you more legitimate. You're not just here and gone. You're here in the community,
Right.
making a difference. Because
Right.
you want to be able to trust who comes,
Exactly.
whoever it is, whatever
Sure.
contract it is
Exactly.
Sure.
that comes to your house. Roofing. So roofing, it's people get scared, and we talked about this before we were live.
For sure.
That it's a cost factor, right?
Yes.
I'm going to tell you, kind of before we go into that, I see we're something that we're doing as a company now is right. We want to create peace of mind with
Yeah.
all homeowners. Everybody's heard a horror story.
Well,
about
that's what I'm saying. It's about
contractor.
trust
Right.
and investing in your home, because that's probably your
That's right.
biggest expense, right? The thing
That's
that,
right.
It's the most important.
but it
asset
is,
of
because
your home.
that's your safe haven.
That's right.
That's your place. That's your corral, so to speak. Your
right.
belongings are there, and you want them to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's the most important part? Well, your home, the exterior of your home, and your roof is pretty darn important, I think.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And if you have any kind of weather events or maybe it's just older.
Mm-hmm.
Those are things that they're going to need attention, just like your car. You can't
Exactly.
go forever and not put gas in your car
Well,
or
it's
the
an oil
oil
change,
change
right? And
or
so-
any of that
that's right.
stuff. And you
Yes.
invest money in your vehicle too. Well, it's even more important with your home, it seems like. Because that's where your family is and
Well,
all
it's-
your belongings.
it's what's
and
over your
everything.
head.
It's
Yeah.
over your
Right,
head,
right.
literally.
So, yeah.
I mean, figuratively,
Right,
and literally.
right.
So, how often, or tell me, how long do roofs last?
15 to 25 years.
Does it depend on what they're made of, the composite?
You know, there's a lot of factors go into it, right?
Okay.
So the biggest factor is that you see it everywhere, right? Most homes that are built are not properly ventilated.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
That's a major
And so
cause.
it's a pretty easy ratio. It's 50% in, 50% out, right? But a lot of people do materials off, materials on, and not understand that the ventilation needs to be correct.
I
in
didn't know
order-
that.
Yep.
I had no idea that.
Yep.
So, what does the proper ventilation do?
So intake and exhaust, right?
It's gonna
And
let
so,
your attic breathe.
yeah.
It's gonna prevent molding.
So your
gonna
roof's
keep your
not a
attic cooler.
waterproof system; it's a water shedding system.
Yes.
Huh. So, sounds pretty important.
Yeah,
You need
it
to be
is.
on top of things.
It's pretty basic, right? And so
So, have you experienced some roofs that were really not done at a good quality level in
I drive
new
through
homes?
I drive
the
through my
time.
I drive through my neighborhood and see the
it.
ventilation incorrect on new homes.
Yeah.
So, a lot of times they just throw it up there.
Correct.
Wow, that's scary.
Correct. And
That's enlightening.
What happens a lot of times is you'll have ridge vent, and then you'll have other venting solutions next to it, which they cancel each other out. So it's incorrect. You can't have two components trying to do the same thing. Right.
Wow. This is very educational. Okay. So there's different things that cause problems, and there's all different kinds of material. Does the material you use on the roof depend on where the house is, or how do you determine what kind of material?
It usually has to do with
HOAs. A lot of
Oh, really?
HOAs.
HOA.
They
OAs.
restricted?
Yes.
Yeah.
They want you to put on a certain year shingle, a certain color, a certain brand. So,
And you're
They
able
are-
to accommodate whatever that is.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time.
Okay. Interesting. I didn't know
and
that
it doesn't
either.
mean it's correct either.
And I didn't know that you I didn't know you had to clean your roof.
Yeah.
Why?
So I don't think it's I'm still not they do soft washing, right? And it's
What is self-washing?
soft
Oh, I
washing.
was saying the roofs
And-
wash
and
themselves.
So, but people will get up there with chemicals. Your asphalt is oil based, right? It's an oil based shingle, and so you're pulling away all the oils, which takes more life out of the shingles,
Ah.
right? So I do a lot of research on a lot of stuff, but I'm just not convinced that that's the best thing to do.
Well, I was reading on your site that you use a shampoo that doesn't have the bleach in it,
Right.
but still removes the algae. Does the algae cause more buildup? Is that why you're cleaning the roofs, or just because it's algae and it's no good?
Well, you've got most roofs that you see the streaking, you see all the different variations of that, and that's algae. Right? And so,
So appearance-wise, it's going to look better too.
Yes.
correct.
Okay. So what material are most roofs made of? Majority asphalt that you do?
shingles. Yeah.
How long do those normally last?
15 to 25.
So they're pretty good
They're
lasting.
pretty good. I mean, it's not the
If they're installed properly, the ventilation.
Is that a problem too sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
installation?
yeah,
Yes.
overdriven nails. There's a lot. Know who's on your roof,
Yeah.
right?
A lot of companies
I guess so.
cut corners to save
So,
a buck.
You
When
know,
do people call you? When they have a leak?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that
For the most
generally
part, yes.
Yeah.
when they see
Yes.
water dripping down in
When
some
they-
part of their
That's
house?
right. That's right.
Yes.
You know, and so
Is that usually the really bad time too?
Well, it's the worst time because first off,
Because that means that there's more damage, right?
Absolutely, right.
don't
so
know where
that's
it's coming
that's
from.
where they get the mold. That's where you get that. So a lot of times
Your valuables.
you could be leaking, right, from a penetration, from a pipe jack or something like
and then
that.
from your walls
and
and
you don't know how long it's been
everything
leaking,
else.
right? So it creates mold within your house. Then you're circulating the mold through the house.
And that's just a bigger problem.
It's a bigger problem. So you need to get
Huh.
your roof inspected a couple times a year.
Yes.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
So talk to me about that and maintenance. What does that look like?
Oh, so the biggest, going back to the leaks and things like that, nobody is thinking about the roof until something happens.
No,
right?
you don't.
And so get somebody in to inspect your decking underneath or your attic, get all that done. And so also get somebody to do an inspection on top of your roof as well, because you don't know, right? You got wind blowing, you got all different events. You're never on your roof,
I would hope not.
right? And
I don't know. Maybe you're up there watching the sunset or
maybe.
sunrise. I have no
I've
idea.
seen people get up there with
I have
no
a guy in
shoes
my
on.
neighborhood does that. He put an elevator so you can take it.
Really?
Yeah.
So, is this a time of year when they really should be looking at that? Because isn't this when we would get more storms, possibly?
Yeah, so you take the, what was it, 2 years ago, the ice, was it 2 years
Yeah.
ago, 3 years ago, right?
2021.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so
In
you
Jan-
have, over
February.
time, just in the summer alone, if you've got, once that changes, you got all the leaves on your roof, right? And again, there's not many components on your roof that's going to stop water, because it's not a waterproof system, it's a water shedding system. If you've got leaves build up in your valleys of your home, right, it's going to penetrate and it's going to cause leaks. So gutter maintenance, all those things are really
And you
important.
do that, right? You do
Yes.
gutters.
Absolutely.
I always think you do gutters, painting, fencing, chimneys,
That's right.
We do
all the
it
exterior things.
That's right.
Chimneys.
Chimneys always have a big problem. They're not flashed right. So it's a big,
So do you
Part of-
prepare them for the season this time
Correct.
of year, cleaning them
Correct.
out?
Yes.
not the inside of the chimneys. We'll leave that for the
Yeah.
for the professionals.
Yeah.
The chimney people,
Yeah, I keep fitting the chimney. So,
like the Mary Poppins people.
that's right. That's the guy with the big top hat, right?
Yeah.
And so it's ready
That's
for
right.
Santa Claus and all
For
that.
sure, for
So
sure.
you do the outside,
The
making
outside.
sure that
The outside.
because it's part of the roof. It's part of
right.
all that.
That's right.
It kind of makes sense.
Mhm.
Things you just don't
Yeah.
think about.
Definitely.
So do you have a maintenance agreement that people could get, or how does
We
that
have
work
a
with
couple.
you?
We have a couple different
Packages.
maintenance packages, and so our deal is within our company is we like to be very transparent, right? And so I think that you can set up packages to where it's pretty spot on. You have a set number, right, based off of, because like I said, it's most of the times it's failure around your pipe jacks. Right, it dry rots, things like that. So it only takes a couple of shingles to replace those and replace that.
So minimal.
Minimal,
Yeah.
right? And so if it's minimal stuff, and then we
Blowing out the
add
gutters.
and then we add a few things to those packages, right? Where you get that package, you'll get another inspection. You'll get 2 inspections involved with that. And so each time we're documenting the roof with photos and absolutely.
And that's one of the reasons we started this business, is to help people. Because, the insurance companies, some portray us as the bad guy a lot of times, and we're here to help the homeowner, especially through the insurance process, guiding them through. I mean, because let's face it, I didn't know anything about my roof, so
Yes,
we
it's
try to
all
help them
really
as-
interesting information.
Yeah,
Because
try
we
to
all
help-
have a roof, right?
Yes.
Unless we live in an apartment and don't own our home or whatever, but most of us are homeowners, and it's just something you don't think about unless there's a problem. And
That's
then
right.
it suddenly comes to mind.
Not only that, do yourself a favor. Know your insurance
Yes.
policy.
Yes, read your policy.
Read
They
your
vary.
policy. That's right.
Huh.
So there's a lot of stuff going on within the insurance world.
Wasn't there something about if it's a act of nature, they may not cover it or something?
Act of God.
Yeah.
And so act of God, they do cover,
They do.
right?
But normal wear and tear,
Normal
They
wear and tear,
don't.
they do
don't.
not.
Right. And so
Most of us are in the normal wear and tear.
right, or you'll see on you get your renewal, your roof's 16 years old, and the renewal is in page 60 of the renewal form.
Yeah.
You have a roof schedule to where they're only
Oh.
covering 49%.
Wow.
And they're
So-
doing that a lot.
Yeah,
We've had a lot of that
So
recently.
be aware. Check it out.
that's
Yes.
right. Know your policy, right?
It's,
Uh-huh.
not only paying your deductible, you're paying that other percentage.
Right.
So most
So-
people go in when they get insurance and say, I want the best policy for the cheapest price, right? Pretty easy stuff. Well, they just don't understand what they're actually
You
getting
don't know
when
what
they
you're
do
getting.
that, right?
Do home warranties cover it?
Nope.
That's just the interior,
Mm-hmm.
and appliances and such?
Yeah, but most of the home warranties, even if it's a brand new house, it's only for about 2 years.
Yeah.
Ours was for 3.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so now you are getting on the roof, right? And doing all the different things.
I have been, since I started. I
How
try
does
not
that
to
work
get on
for
the
you?
roofs as much as I used to.
Have you gotten past the fear of heights?
Oh yeah, definitely. I had to. When I first started, I was not going to get on the roofs. I was just going to do everything from the ground, but you can't do that. You
can't tell.
You have to be up there with the adjusters. I have to be hands-on. I have to be able to see.
You don't wear high heels
what's
on the
going
roof.
No.
Stilettos.
Yeah. We wear some really cute specialty boots, to get on the roof.
Something safe.
Yes, very safe.
Very good. So if anybody wants to find out more about your business, fixmyroofhouston.com. I love that.
That's right.
And it has a lot of information on there. It's done really well, your website. I was quite excited to see that. And it tells all the different types of roofs, the asphalt, metal, cedar, slate, tile, warranty systems. You can read the reviews. They also have a Facebook page, which is Roof Concepts Construction. And you're in the magazine, right?
That's
Can you
right.
find it?
In the magazine?
Yeah,
Oh,
where's it at?
This one's in the front page.
Front page.
Okay, let's see. There it is. Front cover,
What,
big.
2 years now, I think.
Well,
it is?
we've only had the magazine a year, so
Well,
that would
in
be
the
tricky.
Woodlands,
Okay.
In the Woodlands, right?
Okay, yeah,
So
you're in both. That's
yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's right.
So, legitimate business, and by talking here on the radio show, people can see who you are, because that's a big part of trust too. When you have somebody come to your house, you want them to be legitimate. You want to see who they are,
Absolutely.
and then you start forming a connection. Do you have a phone number to call?
281-973-4893.
Very good. And that's also on your website and your Facebook page. Do you
Yeah.
do other social media platforms?
We do, Facebook,
Instagram.
and then we've got a little bit of YouTube on there.
You
And
should
so,
do TikTok and do on the roof.
Yeah.
We need to start doing that.
Yeah.
That could be fun.
It's actually, TikTok's really
Yeah.
doing good
Yeah,
on that.
yeah.
So,
Give it
but
a
if,
shot.
If I could leave something
Yes,
to
sir.
the people listening, right, is know who's on your roof, check their reviews. And something that we offer is we do a $20,000 guarantee, right?
For 5 years.
For any money changes hand before we start the work, you're automatically registered to a third-party vendor for $20,000 guaranteed, right? And then
What does that mean exactly?
Meaning, if let's just say if we go out of business for some reason, right?
Manufacturer
Oh.
defects.
Defects, all these
If
things.
your
so-
material gets stolen.
For
Anything
up to $20,000?
Uh-huh.
Is that what that means?
for 5
Okay.
years.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we have that, and then we also do the
And that's
RC
something different that others don't have.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Right.
that's
And there's
your-
no
but-
cost
That's
to
your
the
unique
homeowner.
thing that you offer.
Yeah, customer experience is all. You know what I mean. And so
Yeah.
we did. I've said this before, and so where we're at is I don't want to be the biggest. I want to be the most trusted. Right. As long as we're doing those things, customer experience, taking care of the customer, the peace of mind, right, knowing that somebody's going to take care of what they possibly could
To get your roof
messed up.
done stress-free is what we try to do.
So
That's wonderful.
Stress-free for our
Well, thank you
customers.
both very
Thank you.
much.
Thanks for having
I
us.
hope people
Appreciate it.
now can learn a little bit more about you and trust you and live comfortably under their roof.
the exciting roofs.
Yeah.
Roofs.
Yes, yes.
So.
Thank you.
Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question, comment about one of our shows? Want to know how to reach a host? Just contact the station on irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
Since 2004, Roger Stein Chiropractic has offered spine and joint manipulation services to residents of Montgomery County and surrounding areas. Conditions treated include lower back pain, migraines, headaches, whiplash, carpal tunnel, neck pain, sciatica, joint pain, sports injuries, herniated discs, and complications from pregnancy. Rogers Stein Chiropractic, led by Dr. Stacy Rogers and Dr. Brian McGee, is an integrity-verified chiropractic clinic. Call 936-441-9990 for an appointment, or visit rogerssteinchiropractic.com. That's RODGERSSTEIN chiropractic.com.
Team Sinisi is a proud sponsor of Conroe Culture News. Vinny Sinisi and his professional team provide comprehensive real estate services throughout the greater Montgomery County area and beyond. Whether looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, Team Sinisi has an impeccable reputation. Contact Team Sinisi for a great experience at teamsinisi.com. That's TEAMSINISI.com.
Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show, with monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776.
Did you know there are more than 790 abused and neglected children currently in foster care in Montgomery County? Will you help make a difference? I'm Allie Stevens with Casa Child Advocates of Montgomery County. We train and support volunteers to be the voice of children in the foster care system. Kids removed from their home because of abuse and neglect, and we need volunteers just like you to advocate for these children. To learn more about becoming an advocate, please visit CasaSpeaksForKids.com. That's CasaSpeaksForKids.com.
Every Friday, tune into Texas Ticket on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 FM with Armando Nino of Gull Lake Conroe, focusing on Montgomery County area events and places. Get a feel of the Texas spirit at the event, paired with guest and vendor interviews, event coverage, and ticket giveaways, and so much more. Join us Fridays and punch your Texas ticket. For more information on the show, visit irlonestar.com/Texas Ticket.
And we are back for the second part of the show today. Sitting across from me at the table is Donna Stedman. She's the executive director of Henry's Home Horse and Human Sanctuary. And Darlene Gagnon.
Gagnon.
See,
Gone and yawn.
Gagnon. I knew I would butcher it. So we're just going to go with Darlene today.
Yeah, that works.
And you're a board member. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I am.
Okay.
Very happy
Proud
to be.
board member.
Yes.
So, some people know about what you offer and some do not. Mm-hmm. You're a nonprofit organization and your website is great. It has the whole history of everything that's been going on. But the place you're at right now, you've been there since 2020?
Beginning of 2020, yeah.
21-acre facility, ranch in Conroe. And it's kind of in a little niche back there.
Yeah, I've lived in the Woodlands for 30 years, almost 35 years, and I never had any idea that there was
I didn't know it was right
horse
there.
Community so close.
Yeah.
You know, right in the middle of Montgomery County, right in the middle of Conroe, Woodlands area.
But it's sacred. It's its own
little
thing.
place. You drive.
Yes.
One of the comments that I get from so many people that come to us, not just veterans, but our civilian volunteers too, say, when I turn up the driveway and start to drive up that driveway, there's just a sense of peace there. And I don't know why. I don't know what causes that, but
serenity.
I get that comment all the time. The trees, we're surrounded by beautiful trees.
And you know, nature does that for you. Mm-hmm. And I, myself, that's my place I go when I need peace of mind. I go for a 2-mile walk, run, or whatever. And now we've lately started going on hikes with the dog.
Nice.
And we're going to Palo Duro Canyon for Thanksgiving, which I haven't been. But it's all about the nature. And what you're saying is exactly that. Going out in nature and with animals, it helps you get back to the things that are most important in your life. And
That's
you know,
right.
it's a God thing too.
It is a God thing, but I also have an awful lot of groups. We have NCL and NCR and churches and Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts and different groups that come out to help us build projects usually or work on a project. And one of the things these parents tell me is to get my kids away from the house, to get them away from the computer, the phone, technology of every kind, and get them out working with their hands in the dirt and the wonderful bacteria and all of the wonderful things that happen to us when we allow ourselves to get good and dirty, you know, and working with power tools. And a lot of these kids, for the first time, they're working with the power drill. Or I put a battery-powered chainsaw in their hands, and they have a ball. And by the time they finish being out there, you know, it just changes who they want to be when they grow up.
It's a new experience. It opens them up into what could be.
Darlene had a little bit of an experience with her son.
Yeah,
in that kind of a situation.
Tell me about that.
You know, it's funny. Luke was going through a major transition in his life. He was my youngest, and we needed to take a pause on going to university, working, and I said, why don't you get out and volunteer? And I was totally prepared that I may not have my son within a year if he didn't get some additional help. I was totally prepared for that. Even told my other kids, get prepared. He may not be here. And
really, that's pretty scary.
Wow.
It was a scary moment in our family's life, and we were all hands on deck with Luke. We were all hands on deck with him. But we needed a respite, and I really prayed and asked for guidance. And he went out there and started volunteering and working with Krista. And Krista is our equine director there. And something shifted inside his spirit. And we had him on a beautiful prayer list with a wonderful woman that had lost her daughter. And she would reach out to her prayer group. We had him on a prayer list, and Krista started working with him. And it's interesting, she didn't remember me. Krista did not remember me. But when I joined the board of directors, somehow I was talking, and she said, "You're Luke's mother." And I said, "I am. And you changed my son's life." And she sent me a picture that she had saved on her phone of him on a horse. And he's in Washington State right now, doing so well, looking to go back to school. He's interested in servicing nature parks. And this really was the seed that was planted at Henry's. You know, he just was there for a very short, impactful time. And I take pride in, my husband and I have 7 children between us. They're all adults. They're all grown. They're doing well, careers, educated, running their own businesses, that type of thing. And so it was a very hard thing as a mom to watch my youngest struggling at this level when every one of his siblings were doing so well. But this was his journey. And I asked for permission to share his journey. And he said, not for anybody but Henry's.
Nice.
And Krista. He remembered her. And this was a couple of years ago. This was right when you had gotten to the property. And so he was there just for a short time. But it made such an impact. And I continue to watch Henry's through Facebook and begin to watch this evolution of corporate partners coming out and helping them build the facilities that they have, looking at the groups that Donna just mentioned. And I thought, there's something happening there. There's some life-changing things that are starting to happen there. And just by happenstance, I ran into Donna at one of our clients' offices, just reconnecting, and I said, I just want you to know I have not forgotten what you guys did for my son.
And I remember when I ran into you in that lobby, she said, "Oh my God, Donna," and she came over and she gave me a huge hug, and I said, "Oh my God, I'm so glad to see you. Tell me your name again."
Yeah.
It was a total reconnection. But this whole time, for the last 3 years, I've held her in my heart. And I thought, when the time's ready, it'll be time for us to get involved. And I told Denny, I said, look at what they're doing. Look at the growth that they're experiencing. And we just had a beautiful conversation.
Well, it is growing a lot. I remember meeting you many years ago.
Gosh.
And that's when you were over there at the other facility,
Grand Central Park.
with Johnson Development. And I thought you were still over there because I didn't know you had moved. And so my first experience was there. I hate to say it's been almost a year. It was January or February last year.
Has it been that long?
I know.
already?
I still have the text. I think I'll have to look.
I was going to say, I thought it was very shortly after you lost Joey.
Well, it was a year, and it's been now almost 2 years.
Has it been already?
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Where the
Fighting
heck
the
does
good
time
fight.
go?
But it's an amazing place because I remember you taking me around, and we need to go back and talk about what it is. So you have 31 horses there. How many horses do you have there right now?
We actually have a few less now. I think
Okay.
we're at 28 because we had a couple that were boarded that moved back home with their mama. And then we've had to euthanize 2 of our horses that came to the end of the quality of their life over the last couple of months. So we're down to about 28, and every one of these horses has a story, which is part of the cool thing about this. You're just listening to the stories of being retired police horses from HPD or being retired race horses or show horses or rodeo horses. A lot of our horses are older. We're not a rescue, so we don't rehome the horses after we rehab them. We keep them and give them a forever home, so it's like a retirement home for horses. And, they need us as much as we need them. We think that we're serving them, but the truth is that we're serving ourselves when we're just around them, because they really are one of the most remarkably spiritual animals on this earth. It's interesting, Krista will tell you how we have an electromagnetic field around our heart that's about 6 feet out, which is what allows us to feel somebody walk into the room when we don't hear them, don't see them, but we can feel them come in. Horses have an electromagnetic field around their heart that goes 60 feet out. And so they can heal you just being in the presence of them without even being close to them.
There's a connection between horses and people, right?
There really is.
Yeah.
There really
And they're
is.
very sensitive, from what I understand,
Well,
to
they're-
that emotion.
Yeah, they're prey animals. And so, like the veterans and the first responders, they live in a world of extreme hypervigilance. And that causes them to be constantly aware of the fact that we're predators. And everything around them is a predator. And so it takes them time to learn to build faith in our leadership and our ability to keep them safe. And when you do bond with a horse like that, especially one that's been through abuse and neglect and lost their faith in human race to protect them, they're there for life, and they never forget. There's people that run into a horse that they knew 10 years ago, and that horse still remembers them. We look at animals, I think, and I know I can get off on a soapbox by this, but we can look at animals as something to use, something to gain from, like most industries do. But they are souls too. That's a soul, that's a personality in that horse. And when you come out and spend time on our track, because we've got the horses all outside all the time on a track system, they have families. And the way I kind of describe this to people sometimes is, imagine if you had 28 of your family members living under the same roof with you, with the drama, the marriages, the divorces, the affairs, the everything. That's exactly what it's like having 28 horses out on a track. They have complete relationships. They have horses that they're completely bonded with, families, ones that they don't like and they shoo away. We have Little Mercy, who's a little 200-pound miniature horse, who's a little chihuahua of the herd. She bosses everybody around. She's got heels and she knows how to use them. But there's just something when you do bond with one of these horses, there's something that changes in your soul. You've got a friend, somebody that doesn't judge you, somebody that lives in the moment.
That's why I need to come out there.
I mean, it's somebody that lives in the moment, somebody that helps you learn how to breathe, take a breath, you know, and get out of your head for a little while. Even
Right.
as simple as grooming a horse is a meditative process that is remarkable.
I can see
you
where that
know.
would be.
Picking up manure, as funny as that sounds, mowing the lawn, anything, you know, that is just a source of meditation that gets you out of your head for a little while. But there's just a special connection with these horses.
So, the sanctuary is not just for the horses, and you spoke of this. It's for veterans and first responders, and they can get involved in whatever. They can
Everything.
volunteer. They can ride, groom, take care of the groundskeeping, all of that. But you also have sponsorships for people who want to sponsor the horses and what it takes, because it costs a lot to maintain a horse.
It
right?
does. We have most of our horses sponsored. I think there's about 8 or 9 of them that are not sponsored at this point, but we ask a sponsor to pay $500 a month or $6,000 a year, and that covers the very, very basic cost of the horse, the hay, feed, you know, farrier, veterinary costs of the horses. It doesn't cover any of the extra veterinary costs or anything else.
But you could always use that.
Because we're completely supported by our community, about 75% of our donations come from people writing us checks, you know, and that's what makes a huge difference. We get a few small grants and a couple little national grants. We are just starting a driving program as part of our Horses and Heroes Equine Learning Program, because I got a small grant from Disabled Veterans National Foundation to expand our veterans program into a driving program, because we have some people that are never going to be able to ride, but they would love to be able to drive a horse. You know, and you can get on that team and learn how to harness and halter and work with the horse on the ground.
And even beyond the sponsorship of the horses, we have a monthly donor program that starts at $5 a month. So you take that Starbucks coffee, put that aside, and just invest in giving those heroes that have given us the opportunity at $5 a month. It's as minimum as that. As a reoccurring donation to really support the programs that we have
And you
for
have
these
so
heroes.
many, and I'm trying to hurry because I know we don't have a lot of time to talk about this. But you have a volunteer orientation. Is that a new thing that you've just started?
No, the first week of every month, we have 2 new volunteer orientations. And that's when our civilian volunteers, and you have to be over the age of 18 to volunteer with us, unless you come in a group, like a church or Boy Scouts. The first Saturday afternoon and the first Wednesday morning of every month, we have a new volunteer orientation. That gives you about 2 hours to come out and see what it looks like to volunteer with us. And then you can get started volunteering.
See where you fit in. And
see
what
where you
that
fit in and how you might
takes.
want to help. Yeah.
So you have that, and then you have a lot of programs. The Herd Mate program.
That's our civilian volunteer program.
So that's what that is. That goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
The equine psychotherapy.
It's actually not a psychotherapy program. We used to have a psychotherapy program for 3 years, but we dropped that in 2019 because we figured out that our veterans don't want to spend 15 to 20 minutes dealing with the horses and then talking to a therapist afterwards.
No, they don't want to do that.
They want to come
And
out for horse
that's
time.
the beauty of our programs, is that they are very, very personalized for the veteran and the first responders.
We don't do what we're told the industry says we should do.
You do what works.
We do what
That's
works.
right.
You do what works.
Which
And-
I'm sure you can relate.
Oh,
you
absolutely.
Know,
I'm
a
that
change
person.
agent.
Yeah.
You're a change agent.
Yes,
So
yes.
is Henry's.
And it's
Yes,
hard.
that's true.
It's hard because the industry is saying, who the heck are you and what the heck are you guys doing and how can we support you because you don't fit into the box. And we don't.
So
We're
you
one of a
really
kind.
have to go out there to experience it.
100%.
And the best way to do that would be this coming Sunday,
Yes.
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So November 12th, noon to 5, you have a fundraiser.
Yeah, this is our 8th annual Veterans Fundraiser and Barbecue Competition. We've got 6 barbecue teams that are out there that are going to be competing, which is going to be great. And it is for all ages. We're going to have a bouncy house and a mechanical bull and cotton candy and popcorn, and Mr. and Mrs. Santa Claus will be there. So come out and get your family
kids.
pictures done.
Yep.
Yes, and we have loads of food to eat, and we'll have a live and silent auction. and great music by Wood and Steel. We're so excited to have them come out. And do you know that we had over 700 volunteers that supported the sanctuary last year?
That's
700. And so when Donna says the community rallies around the sanctuary, 100% in volunteer hours and also in funds as well, with only 1% of our funds being used for operational costs. That's how fiscally responsible this organization
that shows that
is.
the community really
That's why
cares.
that's why my husband and I got involved. They're
No,
fiscally
absolutely.
responsible, they're emotionally responsible. And I know Donna talks about the beautiful animals, but the humans out there, the volunteers, when you go out there, you will connect with people at a very deep and spiritual level. And I've never experienced that before. The volunteers are all heart and soul. You can feel their essence when you're there. It's very, very beautiful,
And I
even
think-
beyond the animals.
Yeah, and I think it's because we're an all-volunteer organization. There's no salaries. That's part of what keeps our
People are there 'cause they
overhead
wanna
low.
be there.
They are there because
Yeah.
they want to be.
Yeah, and you can feel it. You can feel that spirit of community when you go there. It's beautiful.
So it's only $25 to
Yeah.
go out there for the fundraiser.
Yeah,
And they can
exactly.
just show up and stay and enjoy the different things that go on. Eat some barbecue.
Yes, absolutely. Eat some barbecue, enjoy some music, relax with the family, get to meet some of the horses that are changing lives with our veterans, get to meet some of our veterans and hear their stories as well, which is beautiful. And you'll get to meet Krista, who's got the heart and the soul to get out there and work with the veterans. Carol, who's her partner in crime when she's out there working with those horses and the veterans. And it's a beautiful synergy to see them really take care of those veterans and first responders in a deep and meaningful way. They're very passionate about them. They're checking in on them. They're making sure that they're doing okay. They're good people, just really, really good people. So we want people to come out and just get to know us, maybe go on a VIP tour with Vicki, our director of operations. You know, Vicki works like she's making $1 million a year, complete volunteer hours in terms of her director of operational role, and she's got a heart of gold. You'll love her when you meet her, Margie. She's
I want
great.
to meet her.
She's
I mean,
great.
That's why I need to really spend some time.
Yeah.
Make the time and get out there with the horses. It's a little scary because it's new to me.
Yeah.
You know.
But you can take it at whatever. There's a lot of people that come to us scared to death of horses.
Well, I'm not scared of the horse
ready to get over
necessarily,
it,
but
or
yeah.
what is scary to you? What's hard?
I guess. Well, because I don't know how to ride a horse. I've only done it a couple times.
And you won't start off by
So,
riding horses.
Yeah, I
you
just
know?
think it would be good because I have a bond with animals, and my son did, and that's
Yeah.
significant to me.
I wonder
So,
if you'll feel him more somehow through
I think it's possible.
one of these horses.
I think it's possible because
the horses.
when I came to you last year, I think I told you that someone said they know that Joey would want me to be with horses and that.
I remember
so,
that.
Anyway, our time is up now. So I want to have everybody, I want to refer to Henry's Home, horsesanctuary.org. You can Google it in the Google boxes, search boxes, on Facebook, all your social media platforms. But the most information is on your website. So go there, check it out, and go by on Sunday and visit and help with their fundraiser. This is a very significant fundraiser you have, and have some good barbecue.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank